there is no
resources
fun ways that can come up.
be shared
That's the problem.
on
So
presentation skills.
it grays out
Yeah.
the presentation screen, so you're not going to see much.
Some of the things that I would
Does anybody
have
want to
is
stand
recommend
above that?
that.
Because I'm going to run the
And one that I really struggled to overcome is giving you the verbal styles. So when you go up there, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
I struggle with that. You know, that one comes across, and there's a lot of people that, you know, especially in a professional environment, like in our case presentation that we're going to be giving in May, if we all get up there and we start going, now granted, nerves are going to be a part of it.
Did you
but
count mine?
There were a couple, you know, and even I'm guilty of doing it. You know,
Oh, yeah,
I do
definitely.
my
I know
best
I do.
to watch it, but you know, it can come across as
You don't know
not
what
being
you're talking
prepared.
about. Yeah.
So and like right there, I mean, it's trying to find the words. You can stop and gather your thoughts. You don't have to go
Dramatic
and
pause,
to do that. You can just stop and then get your thought and then get back on track. And that took me a while to really train.
That's my biggest struggle, because I go out there and then I have it in my mind that I can't do ums and ands and all that, but for some reason my mind, my nerves just take over and it just happens.
The other thing that a lot of people do is they have tics, where they will just sit or they'll rock back and forth real
Yeah,
fast, because
yeah.
a lot of people have a pattern where
Mhm.
they get comfortable, so you see them sway
Yeah.
instead
That's
of walking
when
around a
the
lot.
video recording is very helpful
It is.
to help
Yeah,
you go
'cause you
back
can-
and look at yourself.
You can physically see your tics.
Yeah.
Right.
And at that point, if you're going to do that and you have the freedom to move, just move.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, yes, I meant to move this way. That's why I was leading.
Well, we are here for our own presentations tonight, so we're going to dig right into our Chipotle presentation. The organization tonight is going to be Nuriman, Toy, myself, or no, I'll be the last presenter, and Dixon will be next. Pronounce everybody's name okay? Getting better? Getting better. It's a very, very similar structure to the prior presentation. We have added a few things, so this isn't completely accurate, and you'll notice the changes when we get to them.
I will start with industry analysis. With the first point, the standard industrial classification, which is retail eating places. About company profile, Chipotle was founded in Denver, Colorado in 1993, and it offered focused menu. The focused menu is limited option of meals. The Chipotle vision is to offer food integrity, which is fresh ingredients with sustainably grown and naturally raised raw materials. We will look at the remarkable events in Chipotle history. In 1998, McDonald's invested in Chipotle with 36 million, and after a while stopped investing in Chipotle. In 2006, Chipotle became a publicly traded company. The stock type of Chipotle is cyclical stocks, which means this stocks impacted with the business cycle of the company. It is the first stocks reflect any recession or expansion in the economy. Here is the Chipotle stock market starting from 2006 to 2014. We can see where the stocks drops down and growth. In 2012, the significant drops was, as I said, in 2012, because the company announced it and some or misrepresent some information about the company performance, financial performance. So this is affect the company, and there was security lawsuit, and this is when it come in public news. It affect the company stock market. So the stocks dropped 22%, and in 2013 the growth was 179. Next point is geographical location. Chipotle has over 1,500 locations, and approximately 99 of these locations are in U.S. Just 1% of locations are spread across Colombia, U.S. and Canada and UK, and Germany, England, France. Consumer market data. We will look at eating habits. I'm sorry, eating habits. From 2003, 2006 and 2013. How people are likely to eat outside. We can see the data of 2006 to 2013, similar the data. People are more likely to eat inside, not outside like in 2003. Here about some groups like men or from 18 to 29 years, 13 to 40, 30 to 49 years old, and also 50 to 64 years old. They said at least they eat weekly 57 from 18 to 29 years old. But from 30 to 49 years, they eat 47% weekly, at least one. Show how people are different in habits. Americans also eat more fresh food than they did 5 years ago. 75 Americans agrees that about the potential danger and from the genetic modification is greater, and strict regulation are necessary. 90 of Americans consumers say that genetically modified food should be have a special label, and when they will not buy this, they saw these labels. Approximately half of these people will not buy this genetically modified food. Competition, the leader of this market is Taco Bell, but the two competitors to Chipotle are Mo's Southwest Grill and Cordoba Mexican Grill. The rest of competitors, Bunch Rose, Mexican Grill, California Tortilla, and Baja Fresh, they compete with a small number of locations. Availability of substitute goods, we have fast food restaurants and also homemade foods. Economic aspects, we have unstable economy, so the market stock will reflect any change in the economy, like recession, rising inflation, and any change in the currency when they go globally. Political aspect, we found that a stable political environment in Germany, US, Canada, and UK. Technological aspect, today in any restaurant we see technology is part of restaurants, like mobile and Facebook ordering, online coupons, and the last one is digital menu, where restaurants can change the menu from time to time. About SWOT analysis, Chipotle has a well-recognized brand and positive public image about the company. It has good supply chain management. It was because the company was because McDonald's invest with Chipotle, so we know the leader of supply chain management is McDonald's. So they learned that from McDonald's. quality local food, and also strong presence in US, too many locations in US, customer loyalty, and also they have an innovative way to market Chipotle meals. They have different style from location to location based on the customer's income. They style the places, the restaurants, and they use friendly materials. We have in weaknesses high-priced menu items, and also when we compare it with another restaurant, they will be expensive. They have limited options to customers, and lower sales. It happens in 2012, and limited number of suppliers. They couldn't find enough suppliers until now, and they have legal issue regarding the security lawsuit. We have the threats about the competition between players in the market and the rising cost of raw materials from suppliers, and sometimes there is unavailable items from the suppliers. And some location also they don't offer some meals because they don't find enough materials there, and economic instability and government regulations. We find the opportunity in global expansion and introducing the new items when they expand globally, like what do McDonald's, they offer noodles in some locations, and we recommend commercial products, and shop house, they invest more in shop house. Going to Five Forests, we see the bargaining power of suppliers is high because some materials is unavailable and sometimes, and also the supplier can control the price of materials. Bargaining of power of buyers is low because they serve 300 customers per hour, and the sales is still growing. The threats of a new entrance, it is low because unstable economy is an obstacle for the new entrance, and also quick service restaurant industry is highly competitive. The threats of substitutes is low because fast food restaurants offer a genetic modification and with reasonable price, but and also homemade food. But some people work outside full time, so they cannot buy this food. Competitive rivalry is high, Taco Bell and Mouse and Kaduba.
Okay, the business strategy, there were 5 main components listed in the case. A focused menu. Chipotle only offers 4 to 5 base components to the meal, and then you're able to add different components to it, such as cheese or lettuce, and you can configure it how you want with the rice and other things, but it focuses mainly on the 5 things that they're presenting to keep down having to prepare so many different varieties of food. They offer high quality raw ingredients, and they use classic cooking methods, meaning they don't use microwaves. They're actually preparing food in a stove and kitchen environment versus having a processing line. Operationally effective and aesthetically pleasing. Basically, they have a fast food environment in a restaurant setting. It functions because of how it's set up logistically. The line flows, which have, the people come through the line, they say, I want beef with my rice, or however they want it, and it's prepared in front of them, moving them right along the line without them realizing it's a line. And basically they use a friendly staff to keep the customers happy, engaged, to be sure that things are functioning the way they should be functioning. And they do all of the above things while they also increase awareness for the environment with respect to the environment. One of the things we'll discuss later is they use local resources. They're moving towards trying to use meats that are naturally raised versus the conventional way of raising animals. The differentiation in the strategy for the competition is Chipotle focuses on having a more healthier version of food where I find, like, for instance, Moe's discussed when you come in, they'll shout, "Hey, welcome to Moe's," where Chipotle is a more laid-back environment. Cadoba Mexican Grill is branding itself as a artisanal Mexican kitchen, and Taco Bell is basically the McDonald's of the food. The marketing strategy and promotion. They didn't use the conventional television marketing to put themselves out. They went for print ads, outdoor transit, so you probably see them on the side of a bus, theaters, radio ads, and online. They didn't produce their first actual commercial, which was a 2-minute spot, until 2012. Then they introduced Food with Integrity, which again is the naturally raised meats and vegetables. They use local resources and farm families to create relationships with the resources and distributing people for those food items. They also have what they called a farm rewards program, which was not promoted to new customers, but instead was promoted to customers that are already passionate about the food that Chipotle offered, which it kind of gave them like a executive level, if you will, access to a website. So they could go and participate in various games and things of that nature to learn more about how Chipotle actually operated. They used what's called owned media, and they participated in various like a music program for festivals like Cultivate Chicago was a festival they participated in, and they participated in community projects when they were moving into a new area. Now, if Chipotle already existed in that area, then they did no marketing at all. If there was no Chipotle, they would move in and have some kind of festival or something in that area and when they opened. Also, they used the digital, mobile, and social media, which actually allowed a target audience of the Generation Y. It was named millennials, as what a word that I ran across in some research. Which allowed for them to have a direct connection to Chipotle versus, having to go other methods. Okay, so the corporate strategy, basically, Chipotle wants to move the model that they've built, take that model and use it to offer other foods. They mentioned opening a shop house, which is offering Asian foods with the same strategy of having a limited menu with fresh, sustainable, integrated foods. So we actually have incorporated the spot that they call Back to the Start, which is the premise for how they want to, present their foods the natural way. So we're going to play that for you.
And before we get into that, who's already seen Back to Start? You guys haven't seen Back to Start? Okay, we'll do Back to Start then. Because they actually have about 5 cartoon animations that they've done. I am going to turn off the lights completely for this. And make sure we got the sound up.
I think the lights.
Thank you.
Just guessing,
That's Willie Nelson.
numbers and figures, pulling the puzzles apart. Questions of science, science and progress, don't speak as loud as my heart. Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start.
with marketing like this, they also offer video game apps that people can download to their phones and play games based on the marketing tactics seen here in Factory Star.
Okay, I will introduce the capacity management. The issues for the capacity management is limit the number of the people per location, which I believe the 40 to 50 compared to McDonald's, the Chipotle is smaller than the McDonald's. And the supplies of organic products and naturally raised meats was constrained because there are most of the consumers to purchase some the organic products from the local markets or supermarkets. The number three, crop often take longer to grow. And the fourth is frequent supply-demand imbalance had results the organic products and natural meats more expensive. And the solution for the capacity management is throughput of the 300 consumers per hour with the supply of the online or phone order and the transition to use organic growing the local produce and the raised meats occur gradually because the organic produce and the natural raised meats it will take a long time to grow. So if the demand is grow and but the supply is decrease, so it also only the occur gradually. And the number three is raising the market price. The raising market price in order to protect the profit. The number four is temporary report to using the conventional produce and meats. And the distribution is the first is local sourced foods within 350 miles. This means all foods from supply all foods within the 350 miles each restaurant, and purchase food supply from many vendors and use of the local farms. Both of the second and third means the supply all the foods are from the farmers and the vendors. And the migration of raw goods from farms to warehouse to a point to sale, it means when the fruits from the farms to the storage and then to the Chipotle and sell the customers. And first the customers select what they wanted and how they wanted by speaking directly to the employees. And the last one is order, also places online, on phone, or order apps and fax. And the sourcing management, we first to look at this picture. This picture, the California, the Texas, the Ohio, there are a lot of the Chipotles. There are a lot of Chipotles, and the Chipotles doesn't purchase ingredients for its dish directly from farmers, and the company has developed a long-term relationship with a number of reputable food industry suppliers, and increase the number of the pro supplies in order to the subject to violate the price and the short supplies. And the Chipotle utilizes the service of 22 independently owned and operated regional delivery inquiries.
Thank you. Now there are some key competitions. The most similar business structure is Moe's Southwest Grill. They take a relatively large percentage share of any location that they are close to a Chipotle. And they're still relatively new. They were started about 5 to 7 years after Chipotle. They now have about a third the number of locations at about 420, whereas the number of locations of Chipotle is at about 1,500. There are some key differences in the business structure, and I want to point those out right now. Chipotle sponsors quality food fast. To do this, they make a number of concessions, some of which have been mentioned. Most importantly, they source only a portion of their meat from non-steroidal, non-antibiotic products. What that really means is that you don't know what you're getting when you go to the store. Whereas Moe's pledges 100% non-steroidal, non-antibiotic. So that is a key difference. I think Chipotle is in the right direction to make those changes and to go 100%, but it's definitely a weak point. One of their strong points is the amount of food they can produce per hour. And the key way of achieving that, as has been mentioned, is having a low quantity of variety items on the menu. Whereas Moe's has about double the number of average items on the menu. So they have to have additional cooks, they have to have additional areas and supplies for storage, making it harder to achieve the same volume. And I think that's part of why Chipotle is going to continue to grow. We've got some other comparisons with other corporations. This is actually a statistic that takes place in Denver. If you remember, that's their hometown. Chipotle is very well liked and is continuing to be desired, although all of the other vendors are still there. And Taco Bell, as was mentioned, is still the industry leader, but they're next to bottom on the list. So although they still hold the majority of the share, they don't serve quality product, and customers are realizing that. And customers are responding in their purchases and in their likes. When we look at nationwide, Chipotle rates highest in food quality, highest in cleanliness. This is key. That is, there are two things that they pride themselves on. Their weakest point, I believe, is service, because if they increase their service, people are going to like them better. It's going to increase the atmosphere. It's going to increase how much people want to come back for both the food and the people. That's one of the things that Moe has on top of the entire team. They are very welcoming. They do say hello the second you walk in. And for that reason, at the end, I think that's one of the major changes that needs to be made. When we look at them by region, you see in the Northeast and Midwest, they're very well liked. Part of the reason is because there aren't many competition, or there aren't many other vendors for the same type and style food. In those areas, it tends to be Del Taco and Taco Bell that you might find in those regions. And that's the major push for them being at the top of the charts. They are falling behind in the South and West for those service issues. As far as financial notes go, they have actually had a significant growth, and they've continued growing every single year. The industry average for net income is around 2 to 6% for food service. So having anything above 6% is a gargantuan percentage. And considering that they also have about 10% on average higher expenditure on food, it shows that they're running a very, very efficient system. Huge increases for standard growth rate. Their average growth rate over a 5-year span was about 19%. They've only been around for 13 years, gone from one location to 1,500. You got to be doing a lot of things right. So we've covered a lot of what I believe they're doing right. Some other piece of information, they don't actually pay out dividends that I could find anywhere. But they have extremely high growth and extremely high earning per share, so that offsets their dividend payout. And their customers know it. In a lot of ways, they run very similarly on their stocks to Apple. And they're actually good partners with Apple. A lot of their apps are produced through them. As far as suggestions, we have a few key ones. Increase in service is definitely at the top of the list. The easiest ways to enhance that are by developing programs for staff that influence a more customer-friendly interaction, but they also give bonuses based on attitude. One of the things that I think Chipotle is doing really well in their service quality and their staff is continuing to promote from within and rewarding people that are very strong influencers in sales and other areas. So keeping those up while increasing their staff quality would definitely be a benefit. Also, they've developed 3 organizations that promote, or rather demote, the value of antibiotics and growth hormones. Since they were major founders in those organizations, if they continue to donate money into them, the farming for non-hormone-based and antibiotic-based produce and meats will become easier and easier to get a hold of, therefore making it cheaper, therefore making it easier to buy at less volatile pricing. So very simply, continuing their efforts with those organizations. Introducing 1 or 2 items into their international locations to cater to friendly foods, and increasing their shop house cuisine locations, since they are proven to be very successful in the locations they've tested. And then lastly, identifying their most successful meals, making them prepackaged and available in local retailers. So those are our key suggestions. I think they're all valuable. Most important would be staff, shop house, and promoting their other organizations. Thank you very much for listening to us today. Do you have any additional questions, concerns, thoughts?
So let's a question from the other team.
Just a couple of points. The addition of the little movie clip was, first of all, I gotta give kudos to Chipotle, because that's very nostalgic. I mean, that was a nice little touch. I felt all warm and fuzzy inside. So you guys did a good job, because I've never seen it. I never thought to include it, so that was a great addition. Very enhancing to your presentation. So these compliments for that. Yeah, I mean, nicely done overall.
I know we don't have time today, and I know that wasn't a question, but they do have another 2 or 3 videos they've made. They've got one called Scarecrow. It's a minute longer. It's well worth the watch. And just to keep you honest, they've made a mock video of that basically says what industry average is really doing. But still kind of the same concept, and made by a local animation firm, so a mini Pixar, if you can imagine. Very, very well done.
Very nice.
Now I have a few questions. One was, you guys did, very good analysis, and also I like that video. I saw other videos, and also I suggest to you they have something on Netflix, which is about an hour about, Chipotle, and that was, it's a good presentation, And the chart you had for showed Chipotle 2% fresh one. What is those are what? Those are percentage of the market?
Yeah, that's the percentage of total fast food purchasing. Scroll back on here.
So this would be.
So out of the total, actually the total food market.
These are the fast food.
This is total food market, restaurant style food market, both fast food and restaurant. It only shows the section of the category of fast Mexican style.
Okay, so among all the fast food, Chipotle has 2%.
Of all food.
All food. Okay, 2% of the food industry in America.
In Denver. This is.
In Denver, this is just Colorado.
So this is in Denver.
Yes, this is just in Denver.
So what I would suggest, that again, that you need to put that one there. For example, competition Mexican style food,
Okay.
Denver.
Okay.
And in Denver, that would be what the percentage, Chipotle has 2% of the food market in Denver.
Yeah, Mexican fast food style really only holds about 12% of the total food market in Denver.
So that maybe you can put in, it would be, to me, looking at that one, because it was not in the case, I had a hard time to understand it. Now, Another, when you also mentioned, Nariman, about legal, what you mean by legal issues in terms of,
Because when
big
they start in Denver, Colorado, they have legal issue about they hire some people, they are illegally staying at US. And this has
So these are illegal workers they're hiring,
Yeah.
that's what you're saying?
yeah,
Okay,
and some was a lot of regulation in the company.
okay. Now, one general comment I have is in regarding what suggestion, as I mentioned to you guys when we did the case guideline, we wanted you guys to stay with the numbers in the case. I know you did extra work, and but unless we ask you to, you can present with the number, and then you can say, okay, by the way, these are additional information we have. But then stay with the numbers, and because we have, when I read, I have read the numbers, and then would be taking me time to look at additional information. And the reason is that it's because you're in a frozen time. At that time, you have to make decision. You should not make decision or suggestion by knowing what happened after, the timing of the right, the write-up of the case.
Right.
Then they can do what they call it, post-mortem. What's the word?
Yeah, postmortem is a
Yeah,
good
that's right.
And
what
that's going to
happened.
be hard for the Netflix case next time, because half of what we're trying to figure out has already happened.
Yeah. Okay. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think a 5-minute break will be in
Yeah.
be in good order, especially since Frank's disappeared.
Actually, I don't, yeah, do we want to pull up our
That's
slides
the
on there?
file.
I don't have a file on a thumb drive, so I think
Can
Frank
pull it
has
up.
it on his laptop,
Right,
so
pull
we'll
it up on
just use his.
Blackboard if this is connected to.
We can do that too.
It's easy enough to connect.
Yeah.
6 in one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah.
Right.
You did good, Anyone, you did much better this time, you're more at the
No, it was-
beginning you
it
were
was a
kind
good-
of
it was a very
nervous,
good
but you
presentation.
I
become more
usually
confident.
am nervous because I haven't experienced going and present in front of people. And I can tell you don't have like this.
I got it.